Thank you for joining our webinar from Henley and Partners, along with our team from the Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program. My name is Jose Hernandez. I'm based in Miami. I'm an associate director for Henley and Partners. And we're going to be speaking today about the Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program. Um, I would be happy to, prior starting the details on the Nauru program, to speak a little bit about Henley and Partners and what we do as a firm, so that you can have an idea on how we can assist and how we are partnered with Nauru to promote this citizenship program. Henley and Partners is the global leader in the investment migration industry. Henley was actually the one who created this industry over more than 25 years ago. We started as a government advisory practice, which we still do, helping governments create these plans to attract foreign investment to their countries. As of today, we have 20 government advisory mandates, and we have raised over 15 billion in foreign direct investment. Today, we are managing around 60 investment migration options in the world. Just for you to have an idea, there are around 100 programs, but these 60 are the ones that are currently active and the most popular ones. We have been the leading firm for over more than 25 years. We have advised over 25,000 clients, and we have 70 offices worldwide. So basically, we have offices in each country where we have a program with, which is something good because there is direct communication on every side of the world. Just to give you an idea, this is a map showing where our global presence is. 16 offices in Europe. We have 9 offices in North America, which most of the offices are in the US and 1 in Montreal in Canada. And then we recently opened 3 offices in Latin America just last year, which are Panama, Brazil, and Mexico. We have offices here in Miami, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Dallas, Boston, Washington, D.C., New York. So basically, the main cities of the U.S. have presence with Henley and Partners, um, and other offices in Asia, Oceania, and the Middle East, as well as the Caribbean. So why am I showing this graph of the wealth planning for high net worth clients? So we have been seeing over the years that high net worth clients, ultra high net worth clients, as we know, they do have their wealth structure, and they have their financial advisors helping them with this wealth structuring. But we've seen that lately, given what's happening in the world, a lot of political instability, social changes, people is actually concerned of what's going on, and they're starting to include a citizenship and residence planning within their wealth planning structure. And this is where they seek for Henley and Partners to obtain information and see how we can advise and try to find the best options for them and their families, if it's whether a residence by investment program or a citizenship by investment program. The main difference between a citizenship and a residency is that a citizenship program, a citizenship by investment program, is a straight path towards a passport, while a residency by investment program, it is a permit, sort of like the green card here in the US, which will allow you to live, work, and study in a particular country, but you won't have a passport. A citizenship is not revocable, sorry, and a residency may be revocable. So these are things that you need to consider. If we speak directly about Nauru, Nauru is a citizenship by investment program, so you would be obtaining a passport. What does our advisory process looks like? So whenever we receive an introduction of a client from one of our intermediaries or a client that they just reached out to us by through our website, we schedule a call with the client. We make an in-person meeting if possible. We try to understand what's his profile. What are their goals as a family or as a single applicant? What is he looking for? Is he planning on relocating? Is it just a plan B? Is this for retirement purposes? We try to understand what their main goal is. And once we have identified this goal, we define a strategy. What's best for him? Is it a citizenship by investment program? Is that what he's looking for? Is it a residency by investment program? And based on that, we implement a strategy. And once we have that strategy, it is an ongoing process. We develop a medium to long-term residence or citizenship strategy. And we are there offering a service from A to Z along with our partners. In this case, our partner, Nicholas Jones from the Nauru team, will be speaking in detail how the application process, what the program entails, and he'll be helping us with questions and answers that you might be having. So at this moment, I will introduce you to Nicholas Jones, who will be speaking about the Nauru citizenship program. So Nicholas, feel free to share your screen. Um, I'm just leaving here my contact information. Jose Hernandez, again, Associate Director for Henley and Partners, based in Miami. You can reach out to me through my mobile or my email, and I'll be happy to assist you in case you have any further questions, as well as Nicholas. So, Nicholas, I'll just stop sharing my screen so that you can
Yes, sure.
share yours.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jose, and thank you for all the team at Henley. You guys are one of our favorite agents. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to everybody, and hello, everyone on the webinar. Let me just share my presentation. Right.
There you go.
So there we go. Yeah, so thanks again for allowing Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program the opportunity to speak to you on this webinar and to give you an idea about the Nauru Citizenship Program. It's relatively a new program, just been launched last year. So here we go. I think, okay, sorry. Back again. I don't know why that's happening. Okay.
Yeah, you're in.
So
Yeah,
Nauru
you're
is an island. So the country, the republic, is made up of just one island. You will note that in other countries, other Caribbean countries, they're made a country made up of multiple islands. In the case of Nauru, it's just one small island. So to start with, I'd like just to take you quickly at the top. So where is Nauru? That's the first question that people ask, and that's the same question I asked when I joined the program as a director of strategic partnerships covering EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, Africa, and also America, North and South America. It's a small island just south of the equator, close to Australia, with a population of only 12,000. We believe there's a 1,000 living overseas, and of course, 12,000 in total. In terms of climate, it has a tropical climate, temperature, nice here. Two languages mainly spoken on the island, on the republic, Nauruan and English. Although I guess I haven't been on the island myself, but I'm based in Dubai and I cover the region. But there is a close affiliation with Australia, so the currency for Nauru is a Australian dollar. The economy of Nauru, unfortunately, has shifted from being one of the richest per capita countries in the world back in the 80s because of the rich phosphate as a mineral resources. That unfortunately has depleted. So is historically famous for the resource, but now the attention has shifted towards more sustainable fishing and developing eco-tourism initiatives. So what we are hoping to see is more of a testing ground for agri-crop that are resilient. And also developing further the tourism and fishing industry in Nauru. So the reason why this program came into existence is because His Excellency President David Ading, the president of Nauru, took it upon himself to raise fund for a national development that will see communities close to the coastal areas being moved into a safer places, a safer housing on the higher ground. So the initiative, the National Development Initiative, is called the High Ground Initiative. That is the main initiative that will require funding. So the citizenship, the Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program, the fund from the program will go directly towards that initiative. So the way that we operate is we only have a program office. We don't have local agents in Nauru or elsewhere. So it's a program office. The program office is based in New Zealand, in Auckland. And the program, so I work for the program office, but I'm based in Dubai, and I have a colleague who's based in Hong Kong to cover the Asia market. In New Zealand, the program office has about 13 to 15 people working, including the compliance teams, application teams, etc., and finance. And we have three, and we're taking on a bit more staff on the island itself in the Parliament building. So 3 people on the island, and then say 15 overseas, managing the program. And we work directly with agents. So those agents, including, for example, Henley and partner, those 50 agents receive the consultation, communication, documentation, etc., from applicants directly. We don't receive applications directly ourselves as a program, and we don't have an agent or a local agent in Nauru or in New Zealand, for example. So we do the administration, we ensure the accountability of the program, and we oversee we oversee the program and the due diligence of it, and we provide regular reporting and the impact on what we have in terms of what we have achieved. This slide just looks at the old port where the phosphate used to be transported. There is also an initiative to rebuild the port. So not just building the community rehousing, but also the port in the future. We'll also look at the program introduction. So Nauru is facing climate change at a level where the UN has classified Nauru as the 5th most vulnerable state in terms of climate change, and certainly the most vulnerable country in terms of climate change in the Pacific. So what we are trying to do is through this program, you're contributing directly to the Treasury Fund. That Treasury Fund will support climate adaptation projects, and on top of those projects is the Higher Initiative project. But we also have projects to provide desalinated water, to provide housing and solar, etc., and agri. So those are the main projects that we focused on. by joining this global community and applying for a Nauru citizenship, you're contributing directly and you're making a direct impact. And because it's a small country with small population, the impact that one would make through applying and obtaining Nauru citizenship, it can be felt. It's quite a big impact because it's just a small community and a relatively small country. So, well, what are the key benefits? Why would someone look at Nauru as an option for second citizenship, if you like? Plan B, a politically neutral alternative passport. That certainly provides you with access to just under 90 countries, visit free, including key destinations like UAE, for example. We find certain communities in certain countries look at UAE as an attractive place to visit, specifically African applicants. It also gives you access visa free to UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, etc. There is also the advantage of including your siblings or the siblings of the main applicants. And when you look at who else you can include in the application, it goes to almost actually 4 generations. So you can include an applicant can include their father, grandfather, children, grandchildren, and then you can go sideways with siblings to the age up to the age of 30. So in one application under one main sponsor, you can include many people, and we look at the cost of including others in the application, under the main sponsor, and what that looks like. In terms of a contribution to climate crisis solution, you're assured that from the name of the program, and that's why we call it New Zealand Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program. So from the name, you understand the purpose of it. The purpose is in the name. We're trying to generate funds in order to fund to help communities mitigate climate change and also to rebuild the housing and to provide testing grounds for climate resilience crops. So just looking at the next. This slide is basically shows you this is some of the remaining of the phosphate on the island. So I don't know if
Nicholas, I have a comment here that I think that it's a common question that our prospect clients would be asking. You mentioned that we can obviously add children, siblings, spouse. Can you provide detail on what the age limit for children is and what specific requirements would be if they wanted to add, for example, siblings?
Sure.
Can you deepen a little bit on that? I think that everyone would be
sure.
interested in knowing.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, siblings, the requirement is in terms of age is 30, but there is a condition, as long as the siblings are non-married, so singles. As you may, if you have a sister or a brother and you want to include them on the application, they need to be single, not married.
And do they have to be financial dependent on the
Yeah,
main
they have. Yeah, although what we're looking at in terms of policy levers at this stage, it's sometimes difficult to quantify that. So what we're doing, understand what we're doing is we're definitely taking case by case, because in some cases we have come across an application with a large family, but one of the siblings is student, and sometimes it's not very clear whether the student is financially independent, because they might do a part-time job, etc. So in a financially independent question, we look at it in more details, but certainly you can include siblings up to age of 30, so that is an advantage, I think, for this program, certainly. Yeah. And then we can come to,
Certainly.
yeah. Uh, so if someone decides Nauru citizenship is the right way for them, how do they go about it? First of all, contact Henley, of course. uh, Contact an agent. Henley and partner, as I say, we've received many applications through Henley and partners. They work closely with many partners worldwide, and we have processed successfully a number of applications already through agent. But of course, we have, depending on the jurisdiction or the preference of individuals, we do have up to around 51 licensed agents worldwide, and those are mentioned on our website. The application process is very much straightforward process. It starts with an engagement with your preferred agent, where you do the consultation, as Jose was mentioning earlier. So you look at the background of the applicant, and you advise them. So from our side, we look at receiving a complete file that includes documentation and some checklist. But in terms of the process itself, it starts with an engagement with a licensed agent, and then compiling the documentation, submitting the application, and then we do the due diligence, and we have a number of independent, large international agencies that we use. And then once the approval is received, then the next step is for payment and for the certificate of citizenship to be issued, and passport. And in that regard, we have successfully issued, although this is, as I say, is a new program, under a year been launched, but we have applications being approved, and people who received their passports have already made some travel overseas. So that is very encouraging, and we have more in the pipeline. And we have seen some cases also recently where some applicants, some customers have looked at combining the Nauru citizenship program, the passport, combining that with a residency where, for example, they prefer to have a visa-free or a residency in Europe. As I mentioned earlier, the 88 or so countries that are offered visa-free do not include Europe. So you could we have seen cases where people would acquire Nauru citizenship, and then just on top of it apply for residency in their preferred countries to add strength to their passport. But even that process still works out economically cheaper, and gives them an advantage, because when we look at the next slides, you understand the cost of obtaining a Nauru citizenship is actually very affordable. So this is the process. The next slide is on the cost. So in terms of your investment, this is more of a contribution rather than an investment. So the applicants will not own a property per se. So it's a contribution to the program. It starts with 105,000 US for a single applicant, and then if you include a family of up to 4 members, the contribution goes up slightly, so only 110, and then 115 for 5 members. Additionally, every time you wish to add So, for example, each sibling to the application will be 15,000 US extra, but they can be included on the same application, as I said. So the and for, sorry, that money totally completely goes to the treasury of Nauru um, for the program. Eligibility criteria, eligibility, I mean, who's eligible? Of course, you need to be, as a main applicant, if you are the main applicant, you need to be above the age of 18. But main applicant can include the children and grandchildren, father, grandfather, or grandparents, if you like, and sibling. And for sure demonstrate a good character. We have a strict due diligence checks that we need to carry to ensure the accountability of the program, and to ensure that the people who are applying are of a good character. Additional requirement is a police clearance certificate from the country of origin, or from as well as the country of residence. Some people originate from for example, Middle East, and maybe obtain a U.S. citizenship. We've had these cases, so it's just to demonstrate that the individual who's applying does not pose any threat to Nauru. Additionally, I would say just in terms of our due diligence checks, as I said earlier, we know the checks include AML, anti-money laundering, and we work with agencies in UK, in US, elsewhere, to help us with that process. The final thing that I would like also to say here is, once the background checks are completed, there is an interview. We do not carry interviews face to face. The interviews will be done online, and they're kind of they're pretty much straightforward interviews, just to ensure that the person who's applying is telling us what they're telling us is truth, and to put a face and the name, and there'll be some just a number of questions to go through to verify. So no interviews, no requirement to come to the island, no requirement, for example, to come to New Zealand or Nauru, or to see us as a program office. Everything is done online, and the interviews will be carried out in English, but we have a number of languages supported, and we have some translators that can help. So just to move to the next slide here. I don't know if there are any. I mean, we can skip the last slide around how to become a licensed agent. If this is not relevant to our discussion here, but I understand that Henley and partners work with many partners, and those partners see the trusted value of working with you guys. And so from our end, as a Nauru program, we're happy to jump in on a call in the future if you have any requirement in terms of training, or you have questions or specific questions for your clients. And if anyone has any question at this stage, please go ahead. And
we actually have some questions, Nicholas.
Okay.
Could you stop sharing your screen, because I want to share my contact information so that the clients can see my contact in case they want to reach out for further information, or if they're interested in starting. So I'll share my screen right now. so that you can see my info. Please feel free to reach out by email or or through my phone number. You can text me, you can call me. Um, eh, I'll be more than happy. So we do have some questions. So the first question is, do you have to pay the application fees if you're not approved? So in this case, you do have to pay the fees because all the work is done prior submitting your application, right? However, just for you to know, our success rate has been 100% because we do know how to prepare the file. And if we see any red flags prior submitting the application, we're going to work
Yeah.
on those, or we're going to be completely transparent and tell you, hey, this is not going to work. Perhaps we should move to another program, or see how we can solve the situation prior submitting it. Uh, a typical questions that clients ask is, what are the reasons why you could be rejected in an application? So I can say that one of the main reasons that an application can be rejected is if during that process of you waiting for an approval, it happens that you are convicted of a felony or you have a criminal charge, and that opens you a court case that can delay the approval or can be a cancellation reason. Nicholas, you can
Yeah.
help me dip
Yeah.
in
Sure.
the answer if you have any other
Yeah, yeah,
important.
absolutely. I mean, just to add quickly, we from the Nauru program point of view, we do offer, in general, all our agents, licensed agent, a pre-application service, which means, Jose, today, let's say you have you have a client. There are some questions around maybe the background, or maybe not necessarily a criminal record, but maybe there is a record or there is a case in court without conviction. You're not 100% sure about the client before even receiving the application fee or engaging with it. You can actually run this with us, and we go back and forth to ensure that you're not wasting the client time or anybody's time. So that's what Henley and partners do, and that's what we offer as well. So just to making sure that you're not paying the application fee, and we know that we probably, if there is a risk, or if there is a potential that this is not going ahead, then we will discuss this prior. Uh, yeah. And in terms of why applications fail, to be honest, even in our case so far, the success rate has been 100%. So
Exactly.
I'm glad that this is the case. Yeah.
If just to add, if someone wants me to reach out to him directly or her, please feel free to share your email, and I'll send you an email or give you a call if you want. Or again, feel free to reach out to me whenever you want. We have another question, and this is actually a good point and a great question. What nationalities Nauru does not accept? I think that this question goes around like if we have
Yeah.
restrictions on certain nationalities for them to apply. So Nicholas, if
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. 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 Unfortunately, it's not. It's open for everybody. There's a number of countries that are that we do not receive applications from, including Russia, Iran, Myanmar, and North Korea. So yeah, we do get this question quite a lot. There are uh, a number of. We understand that there are many applicants who come from those countries' origin. The program at this stage does not process their applications. There are other countries that were are considered high, or maybe were considered high risk. For example, Yemen, Afghanistan. But we have a kind of a solution in place where, if someone comes from Yemen origin, but has spent the last 5 years, 5-10 years overseas, does not engage in that country, and has a clear and clean source of fund, then yeah, then our Afghanistan similar, then that's accepted. But uh, I think the top, the main ones that usually come up are Iran and Russia potentials. And at this stage, we're not processing applicants from. If that changes, we will let you know.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. How many applications have you received so far, and is the application timeline still averaging between 3 to 4 months?
Yes. So the first, I mean, that's actually one of the main advantages that we think we have as a program in comparison to other citizenship, if you like, program. So the 3 to 4 months that we have promised ourselves and promised the clients, we'll be keeping up to that. Actually, the very first application that was approved took under 3 months. And we have the capacity and the team and the processing ability to keep that promise moving forward. And is you know it's we were I was talking to our CEO early this morning. I was saying it's a good problem to have, that we are receiving more and more application, and that's great. But we keep to that promise in terms of numbers. Um, you know Perhaps if I tell you I don't know myself, it's actually true. I don't know myself the exact number, because we have received a lot of applications just over the weekend. But we are processing so far, I mean, over 30, 40 applications. So the numbers are increasing. It's a new program. It's going really well in terms of our expectations, because what happened at the initial stage is we had to get the our process right, set up, etc. And when we talk about 1 year, it's not actually 1 year, because the first application that we received was towards the end of February, March. So in reality, it's only been 6, 7 months of operation, and we have received a large number of applications, and
Yeah,
still more in the pipeline. Yeah,
yeah, I was going to say that. Keep in mind that this program is a new program. It got
yeah,
recently launched, and ever since we have received uh quite a big number of applications for being a new program. So and we're getting
yeah,
more as the
yeah.
months pass. So this is actually good, and we have actually received the first approvals, right?
Yeah, yeah. We have people who already traveled on the new passports.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Uh,
specifically from the US as well. Yeah.
yeah, we have had traction from the US. That's correct. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if there are any other questions that you might want to ask, and if not, I appreciate you connecting to this webinar. You still have my contact information in the screen. Feel free to reach out to my email or to my phone number. I'll be happy to respond to any other questions. And if you're interested in moving forward, I will also be happy to assist you and help you reach this goal. I don't think we have more questions, Nicholas. So if you don't have anything else to end, and I think that this is it. And thank you everyone for
Yeah.
joining.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Just okay. So we'll stay in touch, and hopefully uh we'll see some of the attendees. We'll be speaking with some of the attendees soon.